There's so much else I want to talk about, but then Rooster Teeth is just kind of like, hey, Happy New Year, here's another fucking plot bomb, and it got those rusty, still barely interlinked gears in my head spinning faster than Ruby's weird, nonsensical rose petal semblance. Speaking of semblances. So, look, Qrow was already one of the most interesting and well thought out characters that this show has to offer. But then, in the most recent episodes, upcoming spoilers for episode 8 of Volume 4, it was revealed that Qrow has a passive semblance that brings misfortune to everyone around him. Holy shit! What? What? This changes everything! No wonder his visits to character is always so short, his presence so inconsistent and unpredictable. But wait, then, how is he a fucking bird? You're telling me that's not where he gets his name? Oh wait, that actually makes sense of how he kept winning at the game. And remember when Winter got caught red-handed fighting him? And when that wooden pillar fell on Ruby? Holy mother of Salem, remember that seemingly pointless scene where the bartender broke a glass? Beyond all the mind-blowing, however, I'd like to point out just how fucking interesting this is. Imagine what this means for Qrow as a character. Oh boy, I can't wait to find out more.
That's unfortunate.
No! What the fuck? You've gotta be kidding me! He can't fucking die! Listen guys, I'm as attached to Qrow as the rest of you are. If he dies, it's gonna sting like a bitch. But I'm not just saying he can't die because I like him. I liked Pyrrha a bunch too, and her death was tragic. But I also liked it, because it was a satisfying way to end off her character arc and give the rest of the characters room for growth, while also solidifying the fact that characters can die now. It made sense in the context of the story. And while Qrow's death may make sense in the grand scheme of things, I can't help but point out how big of an opportunity they're missing out on if they kill him here. Just think about it. Qrow has lived his whole life with a semblance that drastically fucks with any and all personal relationships. No wonder he doesn't have a family of his own. No wonder he's an alcoholic. No wonder Ozpin and his crew send him on so many solo missions and aren't extraordinarily happy about his return. Holy shit! The virus infects the office when Qrow's in the room! Sorry, we're past the mind-blowing, I promise you. Back to the analysis. We've gotten a pretty good idea of who Qrow is so far, but this opens up a way to explore a whole nother side of him. For example, what does he think of himself? He has to consider himself a burden, right? He probably tries to stay away from people he cares too much about, while keeping his visits short and sweet to satisfying his own need for personal interaction. When trying to protect and help raise Ruby and Yang, it's probably a weird balancing act of keeping his distance and spending time with them. But seriously, is he okay? Remember, even when he's not around people he cares about, he still brings misfortune. Whenever something bad happens within his proximity, anything at all, he probably blames himself. There have likely been instances where something real bad has happened and it wasn't the result of his semblance, but he blames himself anyway, being none the wiser. For example, the entire second half of Volume 3. That much self-hatred is enough to drive someone mad. He seems to exert an air of confidence, which probably comes from the edge his semblance gives him in combat, but imagine how much that weighs on his opinion of himself. Imagine what that'd be like, showing up to a social event and seeing the dismay in your friends' faces, even if they don't mean to show it. Just being around people can make their life worse, which sounds like a catalyst for low self-esteem. You can even hear elements of this in Qrow's official kick-ass theme music. And I haven't even talked about what this could mean for his backstory. He was raised by a bandit clan who probably figured out what his semblance was when a bunch of bad shit started happening to Raven and the others. We know that he and Raven attended Beacon, so is it possible they were sent away from the bandit clan to spare them from Qrow's misfortune? And what about Team Stark and his time at Beacon? Did he avoid his team in an effort to prevent bad luck? Or did he try to make it work, only to eventually realize how much pain he was causing? Not to mention the time after they graduated. I am willing to bet real money that he, at the very least, considers Summer's death his fault. That would explain his desperation to protect Ruby, and the way that it almost seemed like Tai Yang and Qrow had some kind of beef in Volume 3. I had this theory before it was revealed that he had a bad luck semblance, so in my eyes this practically confirms it. Of course, all of this development and possible growth could be touched on through flashbacks and backstory, but developing and showing the growth of a character after they've died would probably end up feeling kind of useless. Hopefully now you see my point. Qrow dying might do its job in bringing misfortune to the audience, see what I did there? And reminding us that this cute, fuzzy little show has fangs, but they'd be missing out on so many narrative opportunities for growth and intrigue. It wouldn't even have to tie in too directly with our main plot or cast. He could just use some other side characters as a conduit to raise his opinion of himself or develop his mindset further, like Glinda or Ozpin or Iron. Wait a minute! Was his semblance the reason Ironwood somehow managed to miss a giant fucking griffin right behind him? Bit of an end credits scene here. I don't really think Qrow will die, so I figured I might as well throw down my predictions for episode 9 so that I can say I totally called it later. For one thing, that one spy lady is totally Sister Elia. Those horns look like chameleon horns, so I'm betting she's a chameleon. Secondly, Team Ranger will try to rush Qrow to get medical assistance, sort of like they were going to do for the dying huntsman in Xion. However, between their panicking and Qrow's misfortune, they'll attract the Grim. Qrow is super noble, so he'll probably be all like, "Just leave me, save yourselves." Heck, the words "save yourself" are in the lyrics to his song. However, just in the nick of time, Raven will step in and save them, perhaps with their tribe to back her up. From there, we'll hopefully get some exposition about how they can turn into birds and Ren and Nora's parents. Boom. Prediction done. Later.